Refer to figure 151. What is the flight attitude? One instrument has malfunctioned. Answer, level turn to the right. So if the airspeed is high or low, level turn to the right. Which sources of aeronautical information, when used collectively, provide the latest status of airport conditions, ergo, runway closures, runway lighting, snow conditions? Answer, chart supplement publications and distance D notams. Power is increased to enter as power is increased to enter a 500 feet per minute rate climb in a straight flight. Which instruments are primary for pitch, bank, and power respectively? Let me say that again. As power is increased to enter a 500 feet per minute rate of climb in straight flight, which instruments are primary for pitch, bank, and power respectively? Answer, attitude indicator, heading indicator, manifold pressure gauge, or tachometer. Refer to figure 2. What approximate wind direction, speed, and temperature relative to ISA should a pilot expect when planning a flight over PSB at flight level 270? Answer, 255 degrees true at 93 knots, ISA 6 degrees Celsius, positive 6 degrees Celsius. When may you obtain a contact approach? Answer, when ATC will allow, let me repeat. When may you obtain a contact approach? Answer, ATC will assign a contact approach only upon request if reported visibility is at least 1 mile. What enhances the growth rate of precipitation? Answered, upward currents. Upward currents. In the 48 contiguous states, excluding the airspace at or below 2,500 feet AGL, in an operable coded transponder equipped with Mode C capability is required in all controlled airspace at or above. Answer, 10,000 feet MSL. 10,000 feet MSL. The rate of turn at any airspeed is dependent upon, answer, the horizontal component of lift. The horizontal component of lift. Refer to figure 266, area C. What does the barb immediately above C indicate? Answer, winds out of the south, 15 knots, gusting to 25 knots. Winds out of the southwest, 15 knots, gusting to 25 knots. Refer to figure 114. Let me repeat. Refer to figure 114. What entry procedure is recommended for the holding pattern of the following ATC clearance is received? Let me repeat. Refer to figure 114. What entry procedure is recommended for the holding pattern if the following ATC clearance is received? Answer. Clear to the XYZ vortex, hold north on 350 radial, left turns. Answer. Direct. Where a holding pattern is specified in lieu of a procedure turn for a course reversal, the holding maneuver must be executed within the 1 minute, the 1 minute time limitation or DME distance as specified in the SIAP profile view. 1 minute time limitation or DME distance as specified in the SIAP profile view. When is the wind group at one of the forecast altitude emitted at a specific location or station in the wind and temperature aloft forecast FB when the wind at the altitude is within 1,500 feet of the station elevation? Answer. When the wind at the altitude is within 15,000 feet, 1,500 feet of the station elevation. You are on an ILS LOC approach. How do you determine if DME is available? Answer. IAP will indicate DME-token channel in LOC frequency box. The body of a terminal aerodrome forecast TAF covers a geographical approximate within. Let me repeat. The body of a terminal aerodrome forecast TAF covers a geographical proximity within a answer 5 statute mile radius from the center of an airport runway complex. What options are available concerning the teardrop course reversal for LOC runway 35 approach to Duncan Halliburton Field? Answer. If the course reversal is required, only the teardrop can be executed. What is the forecast wind at 1800 Zulu in the following TAF? KKF KJFK 081840 Zulu 1919 0000 knots 1/2 SM RAFG OVC 005. Answer: calm. What is the minimum flight visibility and distance from clouds for a flight at 10,500 feet with VFR on top clearance during daytime in Class E airspace? Answer: 5 SM, 1,000 feet above, 1,000 feet below, 1 mile horizontally. When passing through an abrupt wind shear, which includes a shift from tailwind to headwind, what power management would normally be required to maintain a constant indicated airspeed and ILS glide slope? Answer: lower than normal power initially, followed by a further decrease as wind shear is encountered, then an increase. Lower power first. Lower than normal first. Altimeter setting is the value to which the scale of the pressure altimeter is set so that the altimeter indicates true altitude at field elevation. True altitude. Which data must be recorded in the aircraft log or other appropriate log by a pilot making a VOR operational check for IFR? Answer: place of operational check, amount of bearing error, date of check, and signature. Place of operational check. Place of operational check. You are planning a flight that will include a leg on Victor 573. Let me restart this. Refer to figure 34. You are planning a flight that will include a leg on Victor 573 from the HOT VOR DME to the TXK VORTAC. What is the highest altitude you may fly? Answer: 16,000 feet. 16,000 feet. Which service is provided for IFR arrivals by FFS? Let me re-say that. Which service is provided for IFR arrivals by a FSS located on an airport without a control tower. Without a control tower. Answer: airport advisories. Airport advisories. If a half standard rate of turn is maintained, how long will it? If a half standard rate of turn is maintained, how long would it take to turn 135 degrees? Answer: 1 minute, 30 seconds. 1 minute, 30 seconds. 135, 1 minute, 30 seconds. Remember the 1 3s. 135 with 130. 1 minute 30. You receive the following clearance. What is the recommended entry? Clear to the XYZ Vortac, hold 300 radio. Let me say that. You refer to figure 114. You receive the following clearance. What is the recommended entry? Cleared to the XYZ Vortac, hold the 300 radio. Answer: direct. When departing from an airport located outside of controlled airspace during IMC, you must file an IFR flight plan and receive clearance before entering Class E airspace. Entering Class E airspace. What is the initial primary bank instrument when establishing a level standard rate turn? Answer: attitude indicator. Primary bank instrument when establishing a level standard rate turn. Attitude indicator. Refer to figure 218. Your IFR certified GPS navigator is non-WAS without any visual reference to the surface. How low may you descend on the RNAV GPS runway 5 at DSM? Answer: LNAV MDA. MDA. Lowest you may descend. Refer to figure 91. You are southbound on Victor 257. You have crossed over CPN Vortac at 8:50 and over the DI VID intersection at 8:54. At 8:54. What time should you arrive at DBS Vortac? Answer: 0943. 0943. When our ATS broadcasts updated? Answer: upon receipt of any official weather, regardless of content change or report values. Steady precipitation, in contrast to showers preceding a front, is an indication of stratiform clouds with little or no turbulence. Stratiform clouds with little or no turbulence. Refer to figure 92, area 2. What is the minimum in-flight visibility and distance from clouds required in VFR conditions above clouds at 13,500 feet MSL, above 1,200 feet AGL in Class G airspace during daylight hours? Area 2, 5 miles, 1,000, 1 mile, 1 mile, 1,000. 5111, 1 mile. To maintain the glide slope during the ILS runway 16 at EUG, what approximate descent rate in feet per minute will produce the ground speed of 105 knots? In feet per minute, 557 feet per minute. 557 feet per minute. 557. Which is true regarding the use of instrument departure procedure charts? Answer: to use an instrument departure procedure, the pilot must possess at least a textual description of the approved procedures. Not textual, graphical. Okay. To use which is true regarding the use of an instrument departure procedure chart? Answer: to use an instrument departure procedure chart, the pilot must possess at least a textual description of the approved procedure. Just textual. Minimum. During or after a flight in icing conditions, vibrations or buffering that follows but was not evident during flap deployment is? Answer: an incipient tailplane stall as a result of negative tailplane angle after flap deployment. Incipient. Which sources of aeronautical information, when used collectively, provides latest airport conditions, ergo runway closures, runway lighting, snow conditions? Answer: chart supplement publications and distance D notams. When checking the sensitivity of a VOR receiver, the number of degrees in course change at the OBS is rotated to move the CDI from the center of the last dot on either side of the scale should be between 10 and 12 degrees. 10 and 12 degrees. For an airplane, determine the weather minimum conditions required at destination airport to avoid listing an alternate on an IFR flight plan. Answer: from 1 hour before to 1 hour after ETA. Forecast ceilings 2,000 and visibility 3 miles. Forecast ceiling 2,000, visibility 3 miles. Refer to figure 238. You have cleared. Refer to figure 238. You have been cleared for the RNAV GPS runway 28 approach over Ape Vortex. What will ATC expect you to do? Answer: proceed straight in from FAIRF. Descend after passing FAIRF. What does runway visual range RVR value? Let me re-say that. What does the runway visual range RVR value depicted on certain straight-in IAP charts represent? The horizontal distance a pilot should see looking down the runway from a moving aircraft. For the figure 266, area C, what does the barb immediately above C indicate? Answer, winds out of the southwest, 15 knots, gusting to 25 knots. Winds out of the southwest, 15 knots, gusting to 25 knots. The altitude that provides acceptable navigational signal coverage for the route and meets obstacle clearance requirements is the minimum en route altitude. En route altitude. What standard minimums are required to list an airport as an alternate on an IFR flight plan if the airport has VOR approach only? Answer, ceiling and visibility at ETA 800 feet and 2 miles respectively. 800 feet and 2 miles respectively. What recent instrument flight experience requirements must be met before? Let me re-say that. What recent instrument flight experience requirements must be met before you may act as pilot in command of an airplane under IFR? Answer, a minimum of 6 instrument approaches in an airplane or approved simulator or flight training device within 6 preceding calendar months. Refer to leg 27. You are flying an ILS approach and have acquired the 3-degree glide slope. Your indicated airspeed is 90 knots. You have a 15-knot headwind. What should be your descent rate in feet per minute? Answer, 398. 398. Refer to figure 229. On a straight-in RNAV GPS runway 13 approach at FFC, your GPS navigator has enunciated LPV. You reach an altitude of 997 feet with no visual contact on the surface. What should be your first action? Answer, climb straight ahead. Climb straight ahead. When ATC has not imposed any climb or descent restrictions, and aircraft are within 1,000 feet of assigned altitude, pilots should attempt to both climb and descend at a rate between 500 feet per minute and 1,500 feet per minute. Refer to figure 223. You are flying ILS runway 31 at Des Moines. What should be your altitude at the final approach fix? 2,400. 2,400. Refer to figure 233. You are being radar vectored for the ILS 31 Des Moines and have been instructed to maintain 4,000 feet. At what point may you start the descent after being cleared for approach? When established on any part of the published approach course. When established. 233 established. 233 established. What indications on VSI entry into a 500 feet per minute actual descent from level flight if the static ports were iced over? The VSI pointer would remain 0 regardless of actual rate of descent. Pointer remains 0 regardless actual rate of descent. The indication would be in reverse of the actual descent 500 feet per minute climb. VSI pointer would remain 0 regardless actual rate of descent. Determine the alternate minimums for an airport with a precision approach procedure. Answer 600 feet and 2 mile visibility. 600 feet, 2 mile visibility. An air mass is a body of air that, answer, covers an extensive area, has fairly uniform properties of temperature and moisture. When airspeed is decreased in a turn, what must be done to maintain constant altitude? Answer, decrease the angle of bank and or increase the angle of attack. For the figure 5, what is the meaning of the symbol depicted as used on the U.S. low-level significant weather prognostic chart? Answer: showery precipitation, ergo rain showers, embedded in an area of continuous rain covering half or more of the area. Rain showers. Just rain showers, not thunderstorm. Just rain showers. Refer to figure 146. Identify the system that has failed and determine a corrective action to return the airplane to straight and level flight. Static pitot system is blocked. Lower the nose and level the wings to level flight attitude by use of the attitude indicator. Maximum allowable indicated airspeed used by an aircraft in a hold above 1,400 feet, or 14,000 feet. Above 14,000 feet is 200 knots. Answer: 200 knots. Okay. Refer to figure 7. What type of high-level conditions are forecast within the area? Yellow dots on figure 7 equals ice. Severe turbulence from 300. Answer: severe turbulence. Okay, does not equal ice. What type of high-level conditions are forecast within area 3? The yellow squiggles means severe turbulence, flight level 300 to 370. 300 to 370. Yellow squiggles, flight level, high level turbulence. Yellow squiggles, turbulence, 300 to 370. All right, for aircraft and other helicopters, is an alternate required for an IFR flight. Atlanta, proposed 1930. A whole bunch of other information. Think no and ETA. No, because the ceiling and visibility are forecast to be at or above 2,000 feet and 3 miles within 1 hour before and 1 hour after ETA. No, because the ceiling and visibility are forecast to remain at or above 1,000. All right. No, because the ceiling and visibility are forecast to be at or above 2,000 feet and 3 miles within 1 hour before and 1 hour after ETA. Think no and ETA. What are the minimum weather conditions What minimum weather conditions must be forecast for your ETA at an alternate airport that only has VOR approach with standard alternate minimums for the airport to be listed as an alternate in IFR flight plan? Answer: 800-foot ceiling and 2 statute miles. 802. 802. All right. For refer to figure 87, you are at Strut intersection headed eastbound. ATC instructs you to head west on the 10 DME fix west of LCH on 306, Victor 306. Standard turns. What entry procedure is recommended? Strut direct. Strut direct. Strut direct. The reporting station originating this aviation routine weather report has the field elevation of 607 feet. If reported sky cover is one continuous layer, what is the thickness? Tops of OVC are reported at 6,500 feet. METAR KDFW 101556 Zulu. Auto 320.05 knots, 1 SM, and RABR OVC 007 18/17 A 3002 3002 5193 feet. At A 3002 5,193. 5,193. Wish I knew how to pause this, but I don't, so sorry, people. Refer to figure 227. How far is the outer marker from the runway 35R threshold at Denver Centennial? Denver Centennial, 6.3 nautical miles. Answer: 6.3 nautical miles. Refer to figure 19. The forecast for 06 Zulu during the reported period Calls for what conditions in the state of Wisconsin? MVFR. MVFR. 06 Wisconsin. MVFR. If a steep 180 degree or if a 180 degree steep turn is made to the right and the aircraft is rolled out at straight level flight, by visual reference, the attitude indicator may show a slight climb and turn. May show a slight climb and turn. The maximum allowable indicated airspeed used by an aircraft in a hold above 14,000 feet is indicated airspeed in a hold above 14,000 feet is answer 265 knots. Maybe that's above. Maybe above and below are different. Above is 265. What type of clouds will be formed if very stable, moist air is forced up a slope? Answer: stratiform clouds with little vertical development. Very stable, stratiform clouds with little vertical development. Refer to figure 240. What type of entry is recommended for the missed approach hold for the VOR DME runway 36 approach Price Carbon County Regional Airport parallel? Price parallel. Atlanta. Ending in BECMG 0608 02008 knot broken 040 BECMG 1012 zeros to knot P6SM clear. No, because the ceiling and visibility forecast to be at or above 2,000 feet, 3 miles within 1 hour before and 1 hour after. 1 hour before, 1 hour after the ETA. What is the required visibility and distance from clouds when operating in Class E airspace 9,500 feet MSL within with a VFR on top clearance during daylight hours. 3SM 1,000 feet above, 500 feet below, and 2,000 feet horizontally. Which of the following indications would a pilot see while approaching to land on runway served by 2-bar VASI? Answer: if departing to the high side of the glide path, the far bars will change from red to white. Refer to figure 179. During ILS runway 31 procedure at RBD, the minimum altitude for glide slope interception, the X, 2,200 feet MSL, 2,200 feet MSL. Before a pilot uses GPS route or procedures, what is the acceptable method verifying that GPS database is current? Answer: confirm that all waypoints on the GPS match points on the current en route terminal procedure chart. Current en route terminal and procedure chart. Current en route and terminal procedure chart. For IFR operations of established airways of at 14,000 feet MSL, VORs used to describe the en route flight shouldn't be no further than 14,000 feet, 140 nautical miles. 14,140. Absence of sky conditions and visibility on an ATIS broadcast significantly implies that absence of the sky condition and visibility on an ATIS broadcast specifically implies that the ceiling is more than 5,000 feet and visibility is 5 miles or more. Ceiling is more than 5,000 feet and visibility is 5 miles or more. Refer to leg 27. You're flying an approach, required 30-degree glide slope. Your indicated airspeed 90 knots. You have a 15-knot headwind. What should your descent rate? 398. 398. 15-knot headwind, 398. Refer to figure 269, area C. Location of C. What altitude is the ceiling? There is no ceiling. Area C, there is no ceiling. For figure 211, for takeoff on runway 27 using an average ground speed of 150 knots, what minimum rate of climb would meet the required minimum rate of climb as specified in the instrument departure procedure? Answer: 850 feet per minute. 850 feet per minute. For figure 87 and 88, what is your position with reference to false intersection on Vortac 222 if your VOR receiver indicates as shown? Answer: south of V222 and east of false intersection. South and east. What are the requirements for the formation of a thunderstorm? Significant moisture, unstable lapse rate, and lifting action. Refer to figure 34. You are planning a flight including leg on Victor 573 from HOT to VOR DME on the TXK Vortac. What is the highest altitude you may fly? 16,000 feet. 16,000 feet. Refer to figure 179. ILS runway 31, RBD, squiggle, glide slope interception is 2,200 feet MSL. What should the indication of magnetic compass as you roll into a standard rate turn from the right or to the right from a northerly heading in the northern hemisphere? The compass will initially indicate a turn to the left. Northerly heading, turn to the left. The course selector of each aircraft is set to 180 degrees with a from indicator. Refer to figure 106. The course selector of each aircraft is set to 180 degrees with a from indicator. The CDI is to the right of center. Which aircraft fits this scenario? 4. 106, 180 degrees from CDI, right of center, 4. When is the wind group of one of the forecast altitudes omitted at a specific location or station in the wind temperature aloft forecast? When the wind answer at the altitude is within 1,500 feet of the station elevation. What is the pilot in command's responsibility when flying a propeller aircraft within 20 miles of an airport of intended landing and ATC requests the pilot to reduce to 160? Pilot complies with speed adjustment. Answer: reduce IAS to 160 knots and maintain that speed within 10 knots. 160 knots and within 10 knots. Air mets are issued on a scheduled basis every 6 hours. Answer: 6 hours. What should be the indication of the magnetic compass as you roll into a standard rate turn from the right to the right from an easterly heading in the northern hemisphere? Answer: the compass will indicate approximately correct magnetic heading if the roll into turn is smooth. What approximate wind direction, speed, temperature? Refer to figure 2. What approximate wind direction, speed, and temperature relative to ISA should the pilot expect when planning for a flight over EMI to FL 270? Answer: EMI flight level 270, 265 degrees true, 100 knots, ISA 3 degrees Celsius. A VRB wind entry in a terminal aerodrome forecast TAF will be indicated when wind is 6 knots or less. 6 or less. When a VOR DME co-located under frequency pairing and VOR portion is inoperative, the DME identifier will repeat an interval of 30-second intervals at 1,350 hertz. 30 seconds, 1,350 hertz. Standard rate turn is maintained. How much time would it take to, or how much time would be required to turn from? If a standard rate turn is maintained, how much time would be required to turn to the left from a heading of 90 degrees to a heading of 300 degrees? Answer: 50 seconds. What is the maximum altitude that you may plan for an IFR flight? Refer to figure 78. What is the maximum altitude that you may plan for an IFR flight on V86 eastbound between the Livingston VOR DME and Billings Vortex? Answer: 17,000 feet MSL. When an altimeter is changed from 30.11 millimeters of mercury to 29.96 inch, wow, man, I'm tired. When an altimeter is changed from 30.11 inches of mercury to 29.96 inches of mercury, in which direction will the altitude change and by what value? Answer: altimeter will indicate 150 feet lower. Going down, lower, big. Which practical tests should be made on electric gyro instrument prior to starting an engine? Answer: turn on the electric power and listen for an unusual or irregular mechanical noise. Turn on the electric power and listen for unusual or mechanical noise. When must a pilot fly at a cardinal altitude plus 500 on an IFR flight plan? Answer: when assigned a VFR on top clearance. VFR on top clearance. What record shall be made in the aircraft log or other permanent record by the pilot making the VOR operational check? Date, place, bearing area, and signature. What conditions are indicated by red scalloped outline over Texas and northern Mexico? Thunderstorms up to 1/8 coverage. What is the primary instrument during a stabilized climbing left turn at cruise climb airspeed? Airspeed indicator. Answer: airspeed indicator. What is the main difference between visual approach and contact approach? A pilot must request a contact approach. The pilot may be assigned a visual approach. Visual approach have higher visibility minimums. Refer to figure 94. Hold line markers at the intersection of taxiways and runways consist of 4 lines that extend across and with the width of the taxiway. These lines are yellow dashed lines are the nearest to the runway.